Yeah, it's dangerous. No? It's millions of years. There's only the problem. No?
Yeah.
No? And it's money to need for only for the rest of them. No?
Yeah.
No, it's not so good. No? And in Germany, it's a traditional against them. No? It's in the 60s beginning. Atomkraft, nein, danke.
Long time.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah.
And now it's good that the government stop it. It's really surprising the Conservative Party makes stop it. It's 10 years before, 5 years before, I don't think so.
No, more push, more strong.
Oh, it's good.
And then I was reading a book by a professor at MIT who has it's about liberal kind of criticism on liberal spin, and he said that a lot of CEOs for major corporations are well aware that they themselves are selling their grandchildren down the river for the immediate profit motive, but they're not interested because either they feel that if they don't do it, someone else will step in and do it for them, or they're required by company law to do what they do. So nothing gets done and the status quo is perpetuated. The other concept is about sustainability. Constant growth isn't sustainable. This is the thing, and the kind of free market concept, especially without any regulation at all, is all about continual. The ideology is continual growth, grow. But what's your definition of wealth? Has to be the question. So when you talk about renewable energy as opposed to atomic, I was talking to a mechanic who said that within this next generation, cars will have small reactors in them because we're post-peak oil, and sustainable methods of energy like wind power, like solar, hydro, we haven't got the infrastructure set up, certainly not in England here, to be able to deliver enough energy at the rate that people want to consume. So they have to consume less, and they're unwilling to do it. And that's the problem that we face. And now we have global warming as well, so everything is happening at once. Financial meltdown, global warming, deep recession, and diminishing fossil fuels.
I have no strong feelings either way about atomic energy. When it's safe, it provides power to millions. And I question the German movement towards solar and wind power when they buy so much atomic energy from France. And how are the people in Germany going to power their MacBook Pros with just solar and wind energy? The whole world missed out on solar, and to recycle a solar panel takes years and almost as much energy as it is to make. But I still challenge the world to have no nuclear. It'd be good if it happens, but I don't think it's possible.
They should put solar panels on the fish. Every fish should be made to have a solar panel on its back, and then that should be wired into the national grid of whatever fishing territory they belong to, and that would keep everyone warm everywhere.
Atomic energy sounds really good and good for the environment, but when it goes wrong, it goes really wrong. And you can see it now in Japan, so I don't think it's a really good idea, especially because you got so many different options like sun energy, water energy, all different kinds of energy. So I don't approve of atomic energy in any way whatsoever.
Now, Fusion is when you take heavy elements like plutonium and uranium and you smash them together and you make a lot of energy out of that. It's what the atomic bomb is made. The fission is taking hydrogen and helium and fusing them together. It's the energy that drives the sun. And this was the energy that they were experimenting with. But unfortunately they didn't get anywhere with it, so it didn't happen. Which is a shame, because it was a much safer form of atomic energy.
There is no such thing as an atomic power station. None exist. There are atomic-fired power stations, as there are coal-fired power stations, gas-fired power stations, oil-fired power stations. The problem with atomic power stations is not in the atomic effect, it's getting rid of the waste. If you cannot get rid of the waste safely, think again. Because I would have thought any system of producing heat, which is all it is, should have the long-term view that you don't start doing it unless you can make sure that what you produce from doing it can be controlled. You don't bury it as an ostrich buries its head, so that if you can't see it, then it doesn't exist. Before you start doing it, you make sure that whatever you produce from any process can be disposed of safely. So how about a moratorium on building any more atomic-fired power stations? Not stop them, just a moratorium. Hold fire. Don't start building any more until we've actually solved the problem of getting rid of the waste. If you bury it, all you're doing is burying a continually enlarging problem. It won't go away. It'll just get bigger. You'll run out of holes to bury it in, and you'll run out of people who are willing to have it buried near them. So think. 1. How do you get rid of the waste? The other point is, what does it cost? I have no idea if building a nuclear-fired power plant is more expensive or less expensive than building windmills or water mills or any other form of gaining energy. But perhaps we should look at the total cost. How much does it cost for security? Because you haven't got to only think of the security of stopping somebody coming in who isn't authorised to come in. You've now, bearing in mind the Japanese experience, you've got to think of the terms of the natural security, the natural happening, act of God, call it what you will. There are things you cannot predict, and yet you must predict. Because if failing to predict them causes a disaster, then perhaps you shouldn't build them in the first place. And I think that must be about a minute, don't you?
Thank you very much.